We are excited to be here today. Recently, you heard the announcement of the opening of the new Kansas City streetcar line that extends down to UMKC. That will be October 24th, 2025. In addition to that, we are looking at how we can make sure both that vehicular, pedestrian, bicycle, and streetcar traffics through our city as efficiently and effectively as possible. Several years ago, myself, Councilmember Bunch, and our colleagues on the City Council were able to introduce a resolution relating to direction for the streetcar line, Tom and others, to investigate ways that we could have a transit-only lane on the streetcar. There are a lot of different reasons to have a transit-only lane, a streetcar-only lane on the streetcar. And the main reason for that is so that we can make sure that the streetcar, as it's going from downtown Kansas City, where we've seen the streetcars travel with automobiles, can actually have a more efficient, a faster ride as it goes towards the plaza area. That was the goal, and we're seeing delivered exceptionally well by the Kansas City Streetcar Authority in collaboration with Kansas City Public Works, the City of Kansas City, and so many others. And so I want to say thank you to everyone who had something to do with this project. In sum, what we're trying to do is move efficiently and effectively through Kansas City. We're trying to make sure that this is a line that doesn't get stuck behind automobile traffic as you're going throughout. You see the directions here. And the other important part for all of you to know is that we'll be testing it out. We'll be learning more over the months ahead. But enforcement starts when the streetcar line opens, and that is October 24th. So enforcement starts in October. In the meantime, try to test out doing it the right way. Drive in the vehicular lanes, make sure the streetcars, which are being tested now, have the ability to move smoothly and quickly through the city, and then pretty soon all of us will be able to catch a ride from UMKC, ultimately down to the riverfront. Another exciting part of how we deliver outstanding services, basic services, here in Kansas City. To tell us more about this transformative change here through much of his district, and a little bit of the 6th, is the 4th District at Large, Councilman Chrisman Ren.
Good morning. It's an exciting point to be at. We're getting close. October 24th is going to be here before we know it. You heard the mayor talk about some of the important new rules of the road that folks are going to experience while driving up and down the Main Street. I will tell you, my wife and I have had many spirited debates on what some of the new lines mean as we've driven up and down Main Street. As I've come to find out, she's been right most of the time, but it was a reminder of why it's so important that we work hard to get information out for folks so that when everything is up and running, we are creating a very safe environment for all that is involved. The streetcar has served more than 15 million passengers since 2016, and these transit-only lanes will ensure that they continue to have a safe route. It will ensure that our operators continue to have a safe route. These are hard-working union folks, and we want them to be able to go home at the end of the day. And so safety is a top priority. Additionally, in addition to safety, these lanes are expected to keep the streetcar schedule more consistent on time with fewer disruptions. And so there are built-in efficiencies with everyone playing by the rules and following how this needs to go. So remember to keep your cars out of the red bars. And it is my honor to introduce 6th District Councilwoman Andrea Buu.
Thank you. As Councilman Reyes said, I am Councilwoman Andrea Buu. I represent the 6th District. This new streetcar, as the mayor said, does travel from the 4th District to the 6th District. The extension strengthens the connectivity from downtown to Midtown, the Plaza, and UMKC. These dedicated lanes ensure that residents, workers, students, and tourists have safe access to these areas. And safety is what it's all about. These transit-only lanes also improve pedestrian safety. So with that, I'm going to introduce my colleague from the 6th District, Councilman Jonathan Duncan.
This streetcar line is a generational investment, not only for tourists, as Councilwoman Buu said, but for our residents. And ensuring that we have dedicated lanes for the streetcar ensures that this isn't a tourist function. This is actually something that you can use to get to work, to get to school, to ensure that you can make your date here at Regaza. So we're excited about these transit-only lanes. We're excited about this generational investment for our people. And this is a broader effort to reclaim our streets, both for pedestrian safety and for mass transit. which is greener for the environment and easier on the pocketbook for our residents. I'm excited about this, and I know somebody else is very excited about this, and that is our city manager, Mario Vasquez.
Good morning, everyone. Mario Vasquez, City Manager. Anyone who knows me knows that I have a passion for infrastructure. I have a passion for improvement, and this is by far one of the most exciting things that I've lived through in my time in Kansas City. The last time I had this much excitement was when Union Station opened up, and that too was an exciting moment. That was a great effort, collaboration, and this is it. This is the exact same thing, working together, support from the public, support from our elected officials, over several cycles, right? Not just this mayor, prior mayors. This council has supported this this project. Prior councils have as well, and I think that's just indicative of the long-term view that we have in making our city better. And for sure, this project is going to make Kansas City and Midtown better for the long term. I want to thank all of the parties that have worked on this project for the last several years on this Main Streetcar extension. The Streetcar Authority, the Area Transportation Authority, the Downtown Transportation Development District, all of those have been partners in getting this project to fruition. I also want to thank the public and the businesses around Main Street. It's been several years of disruption, a lot of pain, but I think that the end result is going to bear fruit, and we're all going to be proud of it. So again, I think we all understand the need and importance of having the dedicated lanes. It's going to improve traffic, improve the flow of the vehicle of the transit vehicles flowing through this corridor. And so when it does come to light, please respect the markings that are online, and let's make sure this works for the future. So thank you all. I want to introduce now Councilman Eric Bunch. Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone. This is a pretty exciting time. This is something that a few of us thought of a few years ago and said, maybe Main Street as our new streetcar corridor should include some transit-only lanes. And so I am so excited to see this new red paint. Well, I probably shouldn't call it paint. The engineers would get really upset with me. But it is really impressive work to change this design kind of midstream while the thing was under construction. Was no easy task. And so for those reasons, it's especially exciting and I think rewarding in the end, because we're going to have a streetcar that's going to function better. We're going to have sidewalks that feel safer because there's this nice buffer between the fast-moving traffic. And I think it just adds a touch of distinction as well. It creates a sense of order and place here. So I'm really excited to have this and really excited to have been a small part in this. I'm not sure who I'm introducing next. I might be the last one. But no, it is my partner in crime on this whole idea. Actually, perhaps deserves the credit for the idea from the get-go. Tom and I, who's going to speak here in just a second, we're fortunate enough to know each other for some time. But when I think Tom came to me and said, why don't we think about having some transit-only lanes here, and let's make the streetcar, let's capitalize on this while we can, and make some improvements over the lessons learned of the starter line. So a huge debt of gratitude to the Streetcar Authority under the leadership of Tom Garand, and so I'm really happy to introduce him to come up and join us here. So thank you so much. Thanks, everyone.
Good morning. Thank you, Councilman, and thank you, Mayor, and really Council, for leaning into public transit. This resolution and ordinance that was passed by City Council, spearheaded by Councilman Bunch and the Mayor, really is, it's exciting. This is exciting. Really is indication of forward thinking, evolving the design, and I can say Kansas City is setting a high bar across the country and not being satisfied with necessarily the streetcar yesterday, but thinking to the future. And the transit-only lanes here, as was mentioned, are going to allow us to do that more effectively, to move people up and down Main Street, and not just benefit streetcar passengers, obviously, with timely travel, but as the councilman said, improving the sidewalk condition, making the street more walkable, more livable for all. So if you see red, think transit only. I want to call out a few specific details. Obviously, the big red blocks of paint are transit only zones. That's transit only. We do have other zones like these piano keys here that designate transition zones. Those transition zones allow people to turn right into parking lots, into businesses, onto streets, up and down Main Street. So the goal wasn't to limit access or restrict access for business. It was to do both things. Let's retain access, but also prioritize streetcar, minimize blockages and disruptions. We know what people care about are timely, reliable service, and this action and improvement that's supported by council is going to allow us to do that. The last thing I would say is we have great public education materials like this available on the city website and the streetcar website. We have a video. We'd encourage you all to look at it to explain what we're doing here, as well as fact sheets and other information. We will be supporting an aggressive public education campaign over the next 3 months prior to opening, and with close coordination with Kansas City Police Department, obviously starting enforcement thereafter.